Here is a fact that will make you question everything you think you know about living in Europe. There is a country where you can live comfortably for just $600 a month, where the women are stunning. The wine costs less than bottled water, and you're literally a 3-hour drive from Italy, Austria, and Croatia. The catch? Almost nobody knows it exists. Slovenia. Yeah, that's right, not Slovakia. That's a different country entirely, and trust me, locals get annoyed when you confuse the two, while millions of tourists are cramming into overpriced Airbnbs in Paris and Rome. Paying $8 for a cup of coffee, there's this tiny alpine nation sitting quietly in Central Europe, laughing at everyone else's expense. You want to know how overlooked Slovenia is? It's been an independent country since 1991. It's in the European Union, uses the euro, and yet most Americans couldn't find it on a map if their Netflix subscription depended on it. Meanwhile, the locals are out here living their best lives with healthcare that actually works. Crime rates lower than a snake's belly, and enough natural beauty to make Switzerland jealous. The really wild part? Slovenia has everything those expensive European destinations offer: medieval castles, pristine lakes, world-class wine regions, and coastline, but without the crowds and at a fraction of the price. While a beer in Munich costs you $7, you're paying $2.50 in Ljubljana. While a decent meal in Vienna runs you $25, you're eating like royalty in Slovenia for $12. So buckle up, because we're about to take you through a country that has been Europe's best-kept secret for over 3 decades. By the time we're done, you'll be wondering why everyone is fighting over apartments in Barcelona when they could be living like kings in the land where dragons are city mascots and every third person looks like they stepped out of a magazine. This is Slovenia, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about affordable European living. Picture this: you wake up in Ljubljana, Slovenia's charming capital, grab a coffee for less than $2, and by lunchtime you could be skiing in the Julian Alps, sunbathing on the Adriatic coast, or wine tasting in rolling vineyards. That's not a fantasy, that's just Tuesday in Slovenia. This country is smaller than New Jersey but packs more geographic diversity than states 10 times its size. We're talking about 20,000 square kilometers where Mother Nature apparently decided to show off. The Julian Alps dominate the northwest, complete with glacial lakes that look like someone photoshopped them to perfection. Head south and you'll hit Mediterranean coastline where the seafood is fresh and the sunsets are free. In between, rolling hills covered in vineyards that produce wine so good, neighboring countries tried to claim credit for them. Slovenia sits at the crossroads of 4 major European regions: the Alps, the Mediterranean, the Pannonian Basin, and the Dinarides. What this means in practical terms is that you get alpine scenery, Mediterranean climate, Central European culture, and Balkan hospitality all rolled into one convenient package. It's like Europe's greatest hits album, but in country form. The Sava River cuts through the heart of the country, connecting Ljubljana to the rest of Europe via a network of waterways that have been trade routes for centuries. This isn't just pretty scenery, it's infrastructure that works. The same rivers that medieval merchants used to transport goods now power hydroelectric plants that keep energy costs low and the environment clean. But here's where it gets interesting from a lifestyle perspective. Slovenia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991 in what they call the 10-Day War, which sounds dramatic until you realize it lasted exactly 10 days and resulted in fewer casualties than your average Black Friday shopping spree. The Yugoslavian army basically said fine, whatever, and left, making Slovenia the only former Yugoslav republic to split without significant bloodshed. This peaceful transition matters because it meant Slovenia could focus on building institutions instead of rebuilding from warfare. While other Balkan countries spent the 1990s dealing with conflict, Slovenia was busy creating a stable democracy, joining NATO in 2004, and becoming an EU member in 2007. They even adopted the euro without the economic disasters that hit other small European nations. The result? A country that functions like Switzerland but costs like Eastern Europe. Infrastructure that rivals Germany's, but with prices that won't make your credit card cry. A healthcare system that actually works, unlike certain countries that shall remain nameless, but rhyme with America. Slovenia's location means you're never more than 2 hours from an international border. Want to grab dinner in Italy? That's a Sunday afternoon drive. Feel like checking out Austrian castles? Pack a lunch and make it a day trip. Croatia's islands calling your name? You can be there in time for cocktails. This geographic sweet spot has shaped everything about Slovenian culture. The north has Austrian influences. Think hearty mountain food and beer culture. The West shows Italian influence with excellent coffee and Mediterranean attitudes toward life. The East has Hungarian touches in cuisine and architecture. It's like living in a European sampler platter where every region offers something different, but somehow it all works together. The climate reflects this diversity too. Ljubljana enjoys for distinct seasons without the extreme temperatures that make you want to hibernate. Summers hit comfortable 80°F highs. Warm enough for outdoor activities, but not so hot that you're melting into the pavement, like some Mediterranean cities. Winters dropped around 30°F. Cold enough for skiing, but mild enough that you don't need to take out a second mortgage. For heating bills, Slovenians have mastered something that most of the world has forgotten: work-life balance. That actually balances. While the rest of Europe is caught up in hustle culture, Slovenia operates on what locals call popasi. Basically, take it easy. Everything will get done when it gets done. This isn't laziness, it's intelligence. Slovenians work efficiently during business hours, then actually go home and enjoy their lives. Shops close on Sundays because people spend time with family. Lunch breaks are real breaks, not sad desk salads eaten while checking emails. The average Slovenian takes their full vacation time and doesn't feel guilty about it. The culture blends Slavic warmth with Alpine precision in ways that shouldn't work but absolutely do. People are friendly but not invasive, helpful but not pushy. There's a phrase locals use, kdor ni dela, ni niji. Those who don't work shouldn't eat. It sounds harsh, but it actually reflects a culture that values contribution and fairness over flashy displays of wealth. Family remains central to Slovenian life in ways that might surprise Americans. Used to geographic mobility, multiple generations often live in the same town, sometimes the same building. Sunday family dinners aren't Instagram opportunities, they're actual weekly traditions. Kids play outside until dark without parents panicking about safety, because Slovenia maintains the kind of community trust that other countries lost decades ago. The language situation works in your favor as an expat. Slovenian is the official language, and yes, it's complicated, 7 grammatical cases, dual number forms, and pronunciation that can tie your tongue in knots. The good news? Most Slovenians speak excellent English, plus German, Italian, or Croatian. The education system requires multiple languages, so you'll rarely find yourself lost in translation. Slovenians have a relationship with nature that goes beyond weekend hiking. Most families have pocket Niki high, vacation houses in the mountains or countryside, where they spend weekends and summers. These aren't luxury retreats. Often they raise simple cabins or rural homes that have been in families for generations. The idea is getting away from city life regularly, not just during annual vacations. Social drinking culture might surprise Americans used to either prohibition-style abstinence or college-style excess. Slovenians drink, but they drink well. A glass of wine with lunch is normal. Beer after work is standard. Getting plastered is considered poor form. Quality matters more than quantity, which explains why local wines are exceptional and reasonably priced. The pace of life reflects the geography. Ljubljana, with 280,000 people, feels like a small city where you can walk across the center in 20 minutes. Everything operates on human scale. Neighborhoods where you know the local shopkeepers, cafes where the barista remembers your order, parks where families actually use playground equipment instead of staring at phones. But this slower pace doesn't mean inefficiency. Government services actually work. Getting a driver's license doesn't require bribes or months-long waits. Healthcare appointments happen within reasonable time frames. Internet is fast and reliable. Slovenia has better broadband coverage than most of rural America. The cultural calendar revolves around seasons and traditions that connect people to place and time. Spring brings markets full of local produce. Summer means festivals and castle courtyards. Autumn is harvest season, when entire communities help with grape picking. Winter brings Christmas markets that put Germanic versions to shame. What strikes visitors most is how Slovenians balance tradition with modernity. They preserve folk customs without turning them into tourist shows. They maintain architectural heritage while building contemporary structures. They respect the past without being stuck in it. Slovenia has pulled off something remarkable, creating a cuisine that combines the best of Italian, Austrian, German, and Balkan traditions without turning into confused fusion food. The result is hearty, flavorful meals that cost less than appetizers in Western European capitals. Let's start with the numbers that matter. A traditional Slovenian meal, we're talking soup, main course with sides, and dessert runs about $12 in Ljubljana restaurants. That same meal would cost $35 in Vienna, $45 in Munich, and don't even ask about London. Coffee culture here rivals Italy's, but an espresso costs $1.80 instead of $4. Wine by the glass? Try $3 for local varietals that would cost $15 in comparable European cities. The food itself tells the story of Slovenia's geography. Northern region serves ganchi, a buckwheat porridge that sticks to your ribs during alpine winters. Coastal areas offer fresh seafood with Italian techniques, but Balkan prices. The central region produces patika, a rolled pastry that comes in dozens of variations and has caused family feuds over whose grandmother's recipe is superior. Every region has signature dishes that reflect local ingredients and historical influences. Prekmurje in the northeast is famous for bagrek, a hearty stew that requires multiple meats and vegetables slow-cooked in a large pot. Primorska in the west produces truffles that rival those from Italy and France, but sell for half the price. Dolinska in the southeast specializes in game meats and mushroom dishes. That would make German hunters weep with joy. The coffee culture deserves special mention because it's serious business here. Slovenians consume more coffee per capita than most European nations, and they've turned the daily coffee break into an art form. Kavika isn't just drinking coffee, it's a social ritual that can last hours. Business deals happen over coffee. Friendships are maintained over coffee. Romance begins over coffee. The good news? Quality is exceptional and prices are reasonable. Wine production in Slovenia dates back to 1,400 years, making it one of Europe's oldest wine regions. The country produces excellent whites, particularly Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and native varieties like Ribula and Zelen. Reds include quality Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and indigenous varieties like Rafog. Wine regions like Vipava Valley and Stayerska produce bottles that regularly win international awards, but remain affordably priced because they rate not yet on every sommelier's radar. Here's where it gets ridiculous. Wine often costs less than bottled water in restaurants. A bottle of local wine averages $8 to $12 in restaurants, $3 to $6 in stores. The same quality wine would cost $25 to $40 elsewhere in Europe. Wine tourism is developing, but hasn't reached the overcrowded, overpriced levels of Tuscany or Bordeaux. You can still visit family-owned wineries where the vintner personally explains their process and offers tastings for free or minimal cost. Traditional dishes you need to try include Kranjska klobasa, the famous Carniolan sausage that's protected by EU designation of origin. Struklji are rolled dumplings that come sweet or savory, apple and cinnamon versions for dessert. Cottage cheese and herb versions for meals. Jota is a hearty soup with beans, sauerkraut, and smoked meat that will cure any hangover in most existential crises. Seasonal eating isn't a trendy movement here, it's practical tradition. Spring brings wild asparagus foraged from forests. Summer offers fresh peaches, cherries, and berries from local orchards. Autumn means mushroom hunting, grape harvesting, and preserving vegetables for winter. Winter features hearty stews, preserved meats, and comfort foods that make sense in alpine climates. Local markets operate year-round with prices that would make Americans weep. Fresh produce, local cheeses, artisanal breads, and seasonal specialties at costs that encourage daily shopping. Ljubljana's Central Market, designed by famous architect Jos Plečnik, offers everything from fresh flowers to traditional crafts alongside the best local foods. Restaurant culture accommodates every budget. Gostilna are traditional inns serving local specialties at reasonable prices. Restauracija offer upscale dining with modern interpretations of traditional dishes. Pivnica focus on beer and casual meals. Okrepke Valnica serve quick, affordable meals for working people. Street food includes quality barek, zevapi, and other Balkan specialties. The drinking culture extends beyond wine to include excellent local beers like Lasko and Union, plus craft breweries producing creative varieties. Spirits includes ganj, traditional schnapps made from various fruits, often served as welcome drinks or digestives. Quality is high, prices are low, and social drinking focuses on conversation and connection rather than consumption. Slovenia consistently ranks among countries with the most attractive populations, and spending time here makes it obvious why. The genetic blend of Slavic, Germanic, and Mediterranean influences has created a population where striking features are surprisingly common. But here's what makes Slovenian social culture interesting. Looks matter, but they're not everything. Slovenian women are known for being intelligent, independent, and direct. The country has high education levels. Over 40% of women have university degrees. Career ambitions are normal and supported. Gender equality isn't a political slogan. It has practical reality reflected in workplace participation and social attitudes. This creates dating dynamics quite different from more traditional European countries. Social interaction follows patterns that Americans might find refreshing. Conversations tend to be substantive rather than superficial. People discuss current events, cultural topics, and personal interests without the performative aspects common in social media-driven cultures. Authenticity is valued over presentation, which means less pressure to maintain unrealistic personas. The dating scene operates at human scale rather than app-driven chaos. Ljubljana is small enough that social circles overlap, creating accountability that encourages genuine behavior. Online dating exists, but hasn't replaced traditional meeting through friends, activities, or social venues. This means relationships often develop more organically and sustainably. Language barriers are rarely problematic for English speakers. Slovenians begin learning English in elementary school and consume English language media throughout their lives. Many speak multiple languages fluently. English, German, Italian, or Croatian are common second and third languages. This multilingual ability often makes Slovenians more interesting conversationalists than monolingual populations. Social venues center around cafes, wine bars, and cultural events rather than loud nightclubs or expensive restaurants. Ljubljana's nightlife happens in smaller, intimate spaces where conversation is possible. Cultural events, concerts, theater, art exhibitions provide natural meeting opportunities for people with shared interests. Seasonal social patterns reflect the geography and climate. Summer social life moves outdoors. Riverside cafes, outdoor concerts, hiking groups, cycling clubs. Winter activities center around indoor venues, cultural events, wine tastings, cozy restaurants. This seasonal rhythm creates natural variety and social options throughout the year. Weekend social activities often involve outdoor pursuits, hiking, cycling, skiing, or visiting countryside locations. This outdoor orientation means social connections often develop around shared activities, rather than passive entertainment. Group hiking trips, cycling tours, or skiing excursions create opportunities to meet like-minded people. While enjoying Slovenia's natural beauty, the expat community in Slovenia is small but growing, particularly among digital nomads and remote workers. Ljubljana has co-working spaces and networking events for international professionals. The expat community is supportive without being insular. Most successfully integrated expats maintain friendships with both locals and internationals. Cultural differences in dating and relationships tend to favor longer-term thinking over casual encounters. Slovenians generally date with serious intentions and aren't commitment phobic. This doesn't mean they rush into relationships, but they're not playing games or maintaining multiple casual relationships simultaneously. The culture values loyalty, honesty, and genuine connection. Social activities are affordable, which removes economic barriers to active social lives. Concert tickets, theater performances, and cultural events cost a fraction of comparable cities. Dinner dates don't require spending a week's salary. Social drinking focuses on quality conversation over expensive cocktails. This affordability means social life can be rich and varied without financial stress. Regional variations exist within the small country. Ljubljana offers the most cosmopolitan social scene with international influences. Coastal cities like Piran have Mediterranean social cultures. Mountain towns maintain more traditional alpine social patterns. Each region offers different social experiences. While maintaining common Slovenian characteristics, family approval matters in Slovenian. Relationship culture, particularly outside major cities, meeting parents and extended family happens relatively early in serious relationships. This is an oppressive tradition. It reflects the close family bonds that characterize Slovenian culture. Partners are expected to integrate into existing social networks rather than isolating couples. From broader communities, Slovenia's festival calendar reads like a greatest hits collection of European celebrations, but with unique twists that you won't find anywhere else. The country manages to preserve ancient traditions while creating new cultural events that bring communities together without feeling forced or touristy. Cuisine stands out as Slovenia's most famous festival, a pre-Christian carnival that happens every February in Tuj, the country's oldest city. This isn't your average European carnival with pretty floats and polite parades. Cuisine features people dressed as Curanti, mythical creatures wearing sheepskin costumes, carved wooden masks, and bells weighing up to 30 pounds. The tradition supposedly scares away winter and invites spring, but it really serves as an excuse for the entire town to party for 10 days straight. The festival has UNESCO protection as an intangible cultural heritage, which sounds serious until you see grown adults running around in furry costumes making as much noise as possible. Curanti go door to door throughout the festival, and tradition requires offering them food and drink. Smart locals stock up on snaps and traditional pastries. Because refusing hospitality to Curanti supposedly brings bad luck for the coming year. Ljubljana Dragon Festival transforms the capital every June with parades, street performances, and cultural events celebrating the city's mythical protector. The dragon isn't just a tourist gimmick. It has been Ljubljana's symbol for over 700 years. Legend says Jason and the Argonauts killed the dragon here, but locals prefer the version where their dragon protects the city from invaders and bad politicians. Wine festivals happen throughout the country during harvest season, typically September and October. These aren't pretentious wine snob affairs, but community celebrations where everyone participates. Geographic grape harvest festivals combine wine tasting with traditional music, folk dancing, and local food. The best part? Participation costs practically nothing, and local wine flows freely. Summer brings castle festivals that turn medieval fortresses into performance venues. Ljubljana Castle hosts concerts and theater productions with the city spread out below. Grand Otokic features classical music concerts in courtyards that have hosted nobility for centuries. These events combine culture with spectacular settings at prices that won't destroy your budget. Same. Martin's Festival in November celebrates the transformation of grape juice into wine through religious blessing ceremonies. This might sound boring, but it's actually an excuse for massive parties throughout wine-growing regions. New wine gets blessed, traditional foods are served, and entire communities gather to celebrate the year's harvest. The religious aspects provide structure, but the celebration is purely social. Christmas markets in Slovenia put their more famous Germanic counterparts to shame. Ljubljana's market fills the city center with handcrafted goods, traditional foods, and mulled wine that actually tastes good instead of like sugary syrup. Prices remain reasonable because these markets serve locals rather than just tourists. Christmas Eve features Sveti Vever celebrations with traditional foods and family gatherings. Easter traditions blend Christian observance with pre-Christian spring celebrations. Velikonočni Easter bunny visits are common, but so are older traditions like decorating eggs with natural dyes and patterns that have been passed down through generations. Rural areas maintain customs like blessing fields and livestock, connecting religious observance with agricultural cycles. Traditional folk festivals happen throughout summer months in smaller towns and rural areas. These events showcase regional music, dance, crafts, and foods without commercialization. Participating often means being invited to join communal meals, learn traditional dances, or help with community activities. These festivals provide authentic cultural experiences impossible to find in larger European cities. Music festivals cover every genre from classical to electronic. Ljubljana Jazz Festival brings international artists to intimate venues. Bled Festival in Maribor features multiple stages with diverse programming. Electronic music festivals happen in unique venues like abandoned industrial sites or castle courtyards. Ticket prices remain affordable, and festival culture emphasizes music over fashion or status displays. Seasonal traditions reflect Slovenia's agricultural heritage. Spring brings Đurđevanje celebrations, marking the return of cattle to mountain pastures. Summer features outdoor concerts and theater performances that take advantage of long daylight hours. Autumn harvest festivals celebrate local foods and agricultural traditions. Winter traditions focus on community gathering during months when outdoor activities are limited. Regional variations add diversity to the festival calendar. Coastal regions celebrate maritime traditions with boat blessings and seafood festivals. Mountain areas host skiing competitions and winter sports festivals. Wine regions organize events around viticulture cycles. Each area maintains distinct traditions while sharing common Slovenian characteristics. Modern festivals blend traditional elements with contemporary culture. Electronic music festivals incorporate traditional instruments. Contemporary art installations appear in historical settings. New festivals develop around modern interests: food festivals, craft beer celebrations, outdoor sports competitions, while maintaining community-focused approaches that characterize traditional Slovenian celebrations. Let's break down exactly how you can live comfortably in Slovenia for $600 monthly, because this isn't about surviving on ramen and sleeping in hostels. This is about maintaining a quality lifestyle that would cost 3 times more. In Western European capitals, housing forms the largest expense category, but Slovenia offers options that don't exist in overpriced markets. A studio apartment in Ljubljana's city center runs $350 to $400 monthly. Move to neighborhoods 15 minutes from downtown, and prices drop to $280 to $320 for similar spaces. Shared apartments in desirable areas cost $200 to $250 per month, including utilities. Outside Ljubljana, rental costs drop dramatically, $150 to $200 monthly for decent apartments in smaller cities like Maribor or Celje. The rental market favors tenants because Slovenia avoided the speculative real estate bubbles that inflated housing costs elsewhere. Most rental properties include basic furnishing and utilities, eliminating setup costs and monthly surprises. Landlords typically require a first month's rent plus 1 month deposit, not the multiple month deposits common in expensive European cities. Food costs allow for quality eating without budget stress. Monthly grocery expenses for one person average $120 to $150, including fresh produce, quality meats, dairy products, and local specialties. Shopping at local markets reduces costs further while providing better quality than supermarket alternatives. Cooking at home using local ingredients costs significantly less than comparable food budgets in Western Europe. Restaurant meals remain affordable enough for regular dining out. Transportation costs are minimal due to Slovenia's compact size and efficient public transport. Ljubljana city buses cost $1.30 per ride, with monthly passes at $37. Intercity buses connect all regions affordably. Ljubljana to Maribor costs $8. Ljubljana to Coastal Piran runs $12. Train service covers main routes with similar pricing. Many residents cycle year-round, eliminating transportation costs entirely. Healthcare expenses are virtually non-existent for EU citizens with European health insurance cards. Non-EU residents can obtain private insurance for $30 to $50 monthly, providing comprehensive coverage including prescription medications. Dental care costs fraction of American prices, Routine cleanings cost $25, fillings run $40 to $60. Even major procedures cost significantly less than comparable treatments in expensive healthcare systems. Entertainment and cultural activities fit easily within modest budgets. Movie tickets cost $6 to $8. Theater and concert tickets range from $15 to $35 for quality productions. Museum admissions average $5 to $10. Gym memberships run $25 to $35 monthly. Hiking, cycling, and outdoor activities are free beyond transportation costs to trailheads, utilities for typical. Apartments average $60 to $80 monthly, including electricity, heating, water, and internet. Internet service is excellent. Fiber optic connections with speeds exceeding 100 Mbps cost $25 to $35 monthly. Mobile phone service with unlimited data costs $15 to $25 monthly. These infrastructure costs are lower than comparable services in most developed countries. Personal care and clothing costs reflect reasonable European pricing without luxury premiums. Haircuts cost $8 to $12. Basic clothing from local stores is affordable, while international brands cost similar to other European markets. Local products often provide better value. Shoes, leather goods, and textiles produced in Slovenia offer excellent quality at reasonable prices. Miscellaneous expenses, laundry, household items, personal care products average $40 to $60 monthly. Banking services are straightforward with minimal fees. ATM access is widespread without excessive transaction charges. Credit card acceptance is common, reducing need for constant cash management. Regional cost variations provide options for different budget levels. Ljubljana represents the most expensive option, but offers the most services and cultural activities. Smaller cities like Kranj, Novo Mesto, or Koper provide similar quality of life at reduced costs. Rural areas offer extremely affordable living, but with fewer services and cultural options. Seasonal cost variations are minimal compared to tourism-dependent economies. Summer brings slightly higher accommodation costs in coastal areas, but most living expenses remain stable year-round. Winter heating costs are manageable due to efficient buildings and reasonable energy prices. Income requirements for this lifestyle are achievable through remote work, online services, or local employment. Slovenia's growing digital economy provides opportunities for skilled workers. EU membership facilitates working arrangements for European citizens. The upcoming digital nomad visa program will provide legal framework for non-EU remote workers, exchange rate stability. Through Euro membership eliminates currency risk for international income sources. Banking infrastructure supports international transfers efficiently. Tax obligations for residents are reasonable compared to high-tax European countries, particularly for modest income levels. Slovenia's greatest transportation advantage is its absurd compactness. You can drive from any point to any other point in under 3 hours. This means your weekend trip to the Alps doesn't require vacation time, and checking out the Mediterranean coast is an afternoon decision rather than a major travel commitment. Public transportation works because distances are manageable, and the system is designed for actual users rather than tourist photo opportunities. Ljubljana's bus system covers the entire urban area with routes running every 10 to 15 minutes. During peak hours, the Urbana card provides integrated payment for buses and even includes bike-sharing access. Monthly unlimited passes cost $37, making daily commuting affordable for any budget. Intercity bus connections link every significant destination with comfortable, reliable service. The Ljubljana-Maribor route runs hourly and costs $8 for a journey. That takes 90 minutes through scenic countryside. Coastal destinations like Piran require about 2.5 hours from Ljubljana at $12 per trip. Mountain destinations like Bled or Bahinj cost under $5 and take 45 to 60 minutes. Train service covers major routes with aging but functional rolling stock. The Ljubljana-Maribor railway line provides the most frequent service, while coastal connections require bus transfers. International train connections reach Vienna, Munich, Venice, and Zagreb directly from Ljubljana's central station. Prices remain reasonable. Ljubljana to Vienna costs around $35. For advance bookings, Cycling infrastructure is developing rapidly as Slovenia positions itself as a sustainable tourism destination. Ljubljana has extensive bike lanes and bike-sharing programs. Long-distance cycling routes follow river valleys and connect cities through scenic countryside. The Parenzana Trail uses converted railway lines to connect Slovenia's coast with interior regions. Many Slovenians commute by bicycle year-round, making cycling normal rather than alternative transportation. Car rental provides maximum flexibility for exploring rural areas and natural attractions. Major international rental companies operate from Ljubljana Airport and city center locations. Prices start around $25 daily for economy vehicles. Driving is straightforward, roads are well maintained, traffic is manageable, and parking is available even in Ljubljana's historic center. GPS navigation works perfectly, and road signs include English in tourist areas. Hitchhiking remains safe and relatively common, particularly for young travelers and in rural areas. Slovenians are generally helpful to travelers, and many locals pick up hitchhikers routinely. This reflects both the country's safety levels and cultural attitudes toward helping others. Obviously, use common sense, but hitchhiking can supplement public transportation for reaching remote hiking areas or rural attractions. Taxi services operate in all cities with reasonable rates. Ljubljana taxi fares start at $2 with additional charges of about $1 per kilometer. Ride-sharing services like Uber function in Ljubljana and other major cities. For airport transfers, official taxi service costs around $35 from Ljubljana Airport to city center, while bus connections cost $5 and take 45 minutes. Walking remains practical for daily needs in most Slovenian cities and towns. Ljubljana's historic center is entirely pedestrian-friendly, with most attractions within easy walking distance. Smaller cities like Kranj, Celje, or coastal Piran are compact enough to walk across in 20 to 30 minutes. This walkability reduces transportation needs and encourages physical activity as part of daily life. International connections are surprisingly good for such a small country. Ljubljana Airport offers direct flights to major European cities and seasonal connections to Mediterranean destinations. Prices are competitive with budget airlines serving the region. Vienna and Venice airports provide additional international options within 3 to 4 hours by bus or train. Border crossings with neighboring countries are seamless due to Schengen Agreement membership. No passport checks or customs delays when traveling to Italy, Austria, Hungary, or Croatia. This makes spontaneous trips to neighboring countries practical and affordable. Venice is to 0.5 hours by bus, Vienna 4 hours by train, Zagreb 90 minutes by car. Transportation costs remain low due to government subsidies and reasonable fuel prices. Gasoline costs slightly less than Western European averages. Public transportation receives state support to maintain affordability. Even private transportation options like taxis remain reasonably priced compared to expensive European capitals. Seasonal transportation considerations are minimal due to Slovenia's temperate climate. Winter snow affects mountain roads, but main highways remain accessible year-round. Summer tourism increases bus frequencies to coastal and mountain destinations. Spring and autumn provide optimal conditions for cycling and outdoor transportation activities. Transportation planning benefits from Slovenia's organized approach to infrastructure development. New highways connect previously remote regions. Public transportation integration improves connectivity between different transport modes. Investment in sustainable transportation reflects environmental priorities and long-term planning. That considers user needs over political considerations. Slovenia packs more natural diversity per square kilometer than any European country has a right to claim, while Switzerland charges premium prices for alpine experiences. Slovenia offers comparable natural beauty with prices that won't require selling organs to afford the trip. Lake Bled represents Slovenia's most iconic attraction, and for good reason. This glacial lake, surrounded by mountains and featuring a church on a tiny island, looks exactly like every fairy tale castle setting you've ever imagined. The medieval castle perched on cliffs above the lake completes a picture so perfect it seems artificially created. Visiting costs nothing beyond transportation, though boat rides to the island cost $15 round trip. Swimming is free and encouraged during summer months. But here's what guidebooks don't tell you. Lake Bled, just 30 minutes from Bled, offers similar beauty with fraction of the crowds. This larger, pristine lake sits within Triglav National Park and maintains the wild character that Bled has somewhat lost to tourism. Hiking trails around Bled lead to waterfalls, mountain huts, and viewpoints that provide Instagram-worthy photos without Instagram-level crowds. Triglav National Park protects Slovenia's Julian Alps, including the country's highest peak at 2,864 meters. Hiking trails range from gentle valley walks to challenging alpine routes that require technical skills. Mountain huts provide overnight accommodation for multi-day treks at prices around $25 per night, including meals. The park entrance is free, unlike many European national parks that charge significant fees. Postojna Cave represents one of Europe's most spectacular underground attractions. These limestone caverns stretch for 24 kilometers, with 5 kilometers accessible to visitors via underground train and walking paths. The cave system maintains constant 10°C temperature year-round and features formations that required millions of years to create. Adult admission costs $28, expensive by Slovenian standards but reasonable compared to similar attractions elsewhere. Coastline Caves, another UNESCO World Heritage Site, offers more dramatic underground experiences with massive chambers and underground rivers. These caves feel more wild and less commercialized than Postojna, providing authentic caving experiences. The guided tours showcase formations and spaces that inspire genuine awe, rather than mere tourist satisfaction. Vintgar Gorge provides easy access to dramatic river canyon scenery. Wooden walkways follow the Radovna River through limestone cliffs, and past waterfalls accessible to visitors of all fitness levels. The 1.6-kilometer path takes about an hour to complete and costs $10 admission. Photography opportunities are exceptional, and the experience rivals more famous gorges and expensive alpine destinations. Slovenia's Adriatic coastline covers only 47 kilometers, but includes some of Europe's most charming coastal towns. Pyre maintains Venetian architecture and Mediterranean atmosphere without Venice's crowds or prices. The historic town center preserves medieval character while offering contemporary restaurants, wine bars, and cultural events. Swimming is possible from rocky shores or organized beach areas. The Soka River Valley combines alpine scenery with emerald-colored water that photographers dream about. Adventure sports companies offer rafting, kayaking, and ziplining experiences at reasonable prices. The valley served as a World War I battlefield, and historical sites commemorate one of the war's most brutal fronts. Hiking trails connect historical sites with natural attractions through scenery that inspired Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. Wine regions offer scenic touring opportunities beyond just tasting experiences. The Vipava Valley produces excellent wines amid rolling hills that rival Tuscany's beauty. Cycling routes connect family-owned wineries that welcome visitors for tastings and purchases. Harvest season brings community celebrations that welcome outsiders to participate in traditional grape-picking activities. Slovenian forests cover over 60% of the country's territory, providing extensive hiking, cycling, and nature observation opportunities. Brown bears, lynx, and wolves inhabit remote forest areas, though encounters require specific effort to experience. Mushroom foraging is popular among locals who share knowledge with interested visitors. Forest access is generally free and unrestricted outside protected areas. Thermal springs throughout the country provide relaxation and health benefits at affordable prices. Moravski Topless, Turnvates, and other spa resorts offer thermal pools, wellness treatments, and accommodation packages. Day passes for thermal facilities cost $15 to $25, providing access to multiple pools and relaxation areas. These facilities operate year-round and provide comfort during winter months. Seasonal natural experiences vary dramatically due to Slovenia's climate diversity. Spring brings wildflower blooms and mild hiking weather. Summer offers swimming, outdoor sports, and long daylight hours for activities, Autumn features spectacular foliage colors and harvest. Season celebrations. Winter provides skiing, ice climbing, and cozy mountain hut experiences. Protected areas maintain environmental quality that supports diverse wildlife and plant communities. National park status protects the most significant natural areas, while allowing sustainable tourism access. Environmental consciousness among Slovenians supports conservation efforts and sustainable tourism practices that preserve natural attractions for future generations. Access to natural attractions typically requires minimal fees or advance booking. Most hiking trails, swimming areas, and scenic locations are freely accessible. Transportation to natural areas is available via public bus service or affordable car rental. Accommodation near natural attractions ranges from camping to luxury hotels, providing options for every budget level. Slovenia consistently ranks among the world's safest countries, and these statistics translate into daily life experiences that Americans might find almost surreal. Violent crime rates are so low that most Slovenians don't lock their bicycles, and many leave car doors unlocked. Personal safety isn't just about crime statistics. Slovenia maintains social stability that eliminates many stressors common in other countries. Economic inequality exists, but isn't extreme. Political extremism remains marginal. Social services function effectively, reducing desperation that drives crime elsewhere. The result is a society where personal safety is assumed rather than constantly worried about. Women's safety deserves specific mention because it's genuinely exceptional. Solo female travel throughout Slovenia is safe. Day and night, sexual harassment and assault rates are among Europe's lowest. Public transportation, walking alone, and social activities don't require the constant vigilance that women need in many other countries. This safety extends to dating and social interactions, where cultural norms emphasize respect and consent. The healthcare system provides universal coverage that actually works efficiently. EU citizens receive care through European health insurance card recognition. Non-EU residents can obtain comprehensive private insurance for $30 to $50 monthly. Healthcare quality meets Western European standards, modern equipment, qualified professionals, and treatment protocols that follow international best practices. Emergency medical care is free regardless of insurance status or nationality. Ambulance service response times average 8 to 12 minutes in urban areas. Medical professionals typically speak English, eliminating language barriers during health crises. Prescription medications cost significantly less than American prices due to government price controls and insurance coverage. Many medications available only by prescription elsewhere are available over the counter in Slovenia. Dental care costs are remarkably affordable compared to American or Western European prices. Routine cleanings cost $25, fillings run $40 to $60, and even major procedures like crowns or root canals cost less than American insurance copays. Many dental professionals trained in Western Europe but practice in Slovenia, providing excellent care at reasonable prices. Mental health services are available and affordable, though cultural attitudes toward mental health treatment are still developing. The slower pace of life and stronger community connections provide natural mental health benefits that reduce the need for professional intervention. Public education is free through university level, even for international students who learn Slovenian. The educated population means that professional services, medical, legal, technical, meet international standards. Environmental quality contributes significantly to quality of life factors. Air pollution is minimal outside industrial areas. Water quality is excellent. Tap water is safe and tasty throughout the country. Noise pollution is limited due to lower population density and traffic levels. Green spaces are abundant and well-maintained in urban areas. Consumer protection laws favor buyers over sellers, creating marketplaces where fraud and exploitation are uncommon. Product quality standards match EU requirements. Service providers generally deliver promised services without hidden fees or surprise charges. Banking and financial services operate transparently with reasonable fees and clear terms. Political stability provides predictability that allows long-term planning and investment. Democratic institutions function without the polarization and dysfunction affecting many countries. Corruption levels are low compared to regional averages. Government services generally work efficiently without requiring bribes or special connections. Work-life balance is protected by labor laws that are actually enforced. Vacation time is mandatory and typically taken. Overtime work is regulated and compensated. Workplace safety standards are maintained and inspected. These protections extend to international workers and remote employees working from Slovenia. Social services support people during difficult periods without creating dependency or bureaucratic nightmares. Unemployment benefits provide temporary support during job transitions. Healthcare coverage continues during unemployment periods. Social housing options exist for people facing housing insecurity. These safety nets reduce social tensions and support overall stability. Infrastructure maintenance ensures that basic services function reliably. Electric power is stable and affordable. Internet service is fast and widely available. Public transportation runs on schedule. Road maintenance keeps travel safe and efficient. These infrastructure qualities support both daily life and economic activities. Slovenia's EU membership simplifies legal requirements for most Western visitors and potential residents. US citizens can visit visa-free for 90 days within any 180-day period under Schengen area rules. This provides ample time to explore the country and determine whether longer-term residence makes sense. The new digital nomad visa program launches in November 2024, specifically targeting remote workers from non-EU countries. This one-year visa allows remote work for foreign employers while residing in Slovenia. Income requirements are set at approximately $3,300 monthly, easily achievable for most remote professionals. The visa can potentially be renewed, though renewal terms haven't been finalized. EU and EEA citizens have unlimited residence rights and can work freely without additional permits. This makes Slovenia particularly attractive for Europeans seeking lower living costs. While maintaining EU citizenship benefits, Brexit has made Slovenia more appealing for British citizens seeking EU residence options. Student visas provide another residence pathway, with Slovenia offering quality education at extremely affordable costs. University tuition for EU students is free. Non-EU student tuition averages $2,000 to $4,000 annually, less than one semester at most American universities. Programs taught in English are expanding, particularly in technical fields and international studies. Investment-based residence options exist but require significant capital commitments. Real estate investment of €250,000 or business investment creating local employment can lead to residence permits. These requirements are substantial but lower than comparable programs in Western European countries. Credit card acceptance is widespread, reducing dependence on cash transactions. Language requirements vary by residence type and duration. Tourist visits obviously don't require Slovenian language skills. Longer-term residence benefits from basic Slovenian knowledge, though English proficiency among locals reduces communication challenges. Language learning resources are available through universities and adult education programs. Tax obligations depend on residence status and income sources. Slovenia taxes worldwide income for residents, but offers reasonable rates compared to high-tax European countries. Tax treaties with many countries prevent double taxation on foreign income. Healthcare access for legal residents is excellent and affordable. EU citizens use European health insurance cards for immediate coverage. Non-EU residents can obtain comprehensive private insurance or qualify for state insurance coverage. Emergency care is provided regardless of insurance status. Housing searches benefit from online resources and local real estate agents who increasingly work with international clients. Rental agreements are standardized and tenant-friendly. Property purchased by foreigners is permitted with some restrictions on agricultural land. Real estate prices remain reasonable compared to Western European markets. Cultural integration is facilitated by Slovenian openness to foreigners and high English proficiency among locals. International communities exist in Ljubljana and other cities, providing support networks for newcomers. Cultural events and language exchange programs help newcomers connect with local communities. Practical daily needs are easily met with good infrastructure and service availability. Internet service is excellent and affordable. Mobile phone service covers the entire country with reasonable rates. Postal services are reliable and efficient. Utility connections are straightforward for legal residents. Transportation for residents includes access to all public transportation systems, plus vehicle registration options. EU driving licenses are recognized. Non-EU licenses can be converted to Slovenian licenses through established procedures. Vehicle importation is possible with proper documentation, and tax payments, legal services for immigration, and residence matters are available in English. Through international law firms operating in Slovenia, costs are reasonable compared to legal services in expensive Western countries. Government immigration services are generally efficient and professional. Climate considerations affect year-round living more than short-term visits. Winter temperatures require appropriate clothing and heating. Though costs are manageable, summer heat is rarely excessive. Spring and autumn provide ideal weather for outdoor activities and general comfort. Regional differences within Slovenia offer various lifestyle options. Ljubljana provides urban amenities and international communities. Coastal areas offer Mediterranean climate and lifestyle. Mountain regions provide outdoor recreation and traditional alpine culture. Each region offers different experiences while maintaining common Slovenian characteristics. Retirement in Slovenia attracts increasing numbers of international retirees seeking affordable European living with high quality of life. Pension income from foreign sources provides good purchasing power. Healthcare quality and affordability particularly appeal to retirees concerned about medical costs. Social activities and cultural opportunities support active retirement lifestyles. After walking through everything Slovenia offers, the $600 monthly budget, the stunning natural beauty, the safety that lets you forget to lock your doors, the food that rivals Italy at half the price, and the quality of life that makes other Europeans jealous, one question remains: why isn't everyone talking about this place? The answer reveals something interesting about how we choose places to live and travel. Slovenia succeeds precisely because it doesn't follow the European playbook of marketing itself as a luxury destination, while other countries inflated prices to match their reputations. Slovenia focused on building a society that actually works for the people who live there. This approach created what economists call a value gap, the difference between quality and cost, that smart people exploit while everyone else chases brand names. Slovenia offers Swiss-quality infrastructure at Eastern European prices, Italian-level cuisine without Italian chaos, Austrian efficiency without German expense, and Mediterranean climate without Mediterranean crowds. The country's small size, which might seem like a limitation, actually becomes its greatest advantage. Everything is accessible. You can ski in the morning and swim in the afternoon. Nothing requires major travel commitments. Weekend trips to neighboring countries cost less than dinner in expensive European capitals. The scale remains human rather than overwhelming. Slovenia as cultural blend creates something unique in Europe, a society that combines the best aspects of different traditions without the negative aspects that often accompany cultural mixing. Alpine precision meets Mediterranean relaxation. Slavic warmth combines with Germanic efficiency. The result is a culture that works for both locals and internationals. For Americans specifically, Slovenia offers solutions to problems that seem unsolvable back home. Healthcare that works without bankruptcy. Education that doesn't require lifetime debt. Transportation that functions without car ownership. Safety levels that allow relaxation rather than constant vigilance. These aren't utopian fantasies, they're daily realities in Slovenia. The economic advantages go beyond simple cost comparisons. Slovenia's membership in stable international organizations provides security and predictability. The euro eliminates currency risk. EU membership ensures legal protections and economic integration. NATO membership provides security guarantees. These institutional frameworks create stability that supports both daily life and long-term planning. Environmental quality in Slovenia supports lifestyle choices that expensive countries make difficult. Clean air and water are standard rather than luxury amenities. Access to nature doesn't require expensive equipment or exclusive memberships. Outdoor recreation is normal rather than specialized activity. This environmental quality improves both physical and mental health naturally. The social fabric in Slovenia maintains characteristics that other developed countries have lost to economic pressures and social fragmentation. Community connections still exist. Family relationships remain strong. Social trust enables cooperation rather than constant competition. These social qualities create psychological benefits that improve life satisfaction. Beyond material considerations, Slovenia's trajectory suggests continued improvement rather than decline. The country is investing in technology infrastructure, sustainable development, and quality of life improvements. Political stability supports long-term planning. Economic growth is steady without creating bubble conditions. Population trends are stable without the demographic crises affecting other European countries. For digital nomads, remote workers, retirees, and anyone seeking alternatives to expensive Western lifestyle, Slovenia provides a complete package. The combination of affordability, quality, safety, and opportunity doesn't exist elsewhere in developed Europe. Early adopters who move to Slovenia now will benefit from current conditions before wider recognition increases costs and crowds. The timing is perfect for several reasons. The digital nomad visa program launches soon, providing legal framework for remote work. Infrastructure development continues improving connectivity and services. International awareness is growing but hasn't reached levels that inflate prices. Economic conditions favor newcomers seeking value over prestige. Slovenia represents what Europe could be if it prioritized livability over luxury branding, a place where systems work for users rather than profit centers, where natural beauty remains accessible rather than commercialized, where cultural traditions enhance rather than restrict daily life, where international integration creates opportunities rather than obligations. Comment below if you're seriously considering Slovenia as your next destination, and let us know what aspect interests you most: the budget living, the natural beauty, the cultural experiences, or something else entirely. Share this with anyone who is tired of paying premium prices for European experiences and ready to know about Europe's best-kept secret. Slovenia isn't just another travel destination. It's proof that quality of life doesn't require sacrificing your financial future. It's a country that works, and it's waiting for people who appreciate substance over style, value over vanity, and real life over Instagram performance. The question isn't whether Slovenia is worth considering. It's whether you're ready to stop overpaying for European dreams and start living the reality that Slovenia offers today.